Welcome to Tuesday Update. Today is Tuesday, June 9th. And I've got a tremendous smile on my face today because we're going to be able to welcome you back this weekend for the first time in 3 months. And so that's going to be a wonderful, wonderful moment. And, you know, the governor allowed the churches to open at 25% capacity. So we're going to be able this weekend to open up here at St. Pius for 2 masses. We're going to do a 5 p.m. on Saturday and a 10 a.m. on Sunday. And the 25% capacity for us would be 200 people we can get in here. And so we're going to be excited to have you come by. We're going to have our parish center also open for any overflow, in which we're going to be able to seat people safely there and then bring them communion if we have a need for overflow. So it's an exciting time. And the reason we're only doing 2 masses this coming weekend is we've done a lot of research on other churches that have opened up. So down south, they've been open for a month or 2. And what they found was that they only needed a couple of masses to begin with, that people were slow to come back. So we're going to just have the 5 o'clock on Saturday, the 10 o'clock on Sunday, and then eventually as people start coming back, we'll add in more masses and get back to our normal mass schedule. But this weekend, just the 5 p.m. on Saturday, 10 o'clock on Sunday. To open up, there's a ton of rules and regulations. And so I'm going to need to ask you for your patience. But you know, it's all worth it. Because if we can get you back here, I'll jump through any hoops we got to jump through. And the other thing is, if all these rules and regulations can help us prevent one person from getting this COVID-19, it is worth it. So I ask you to join me in that let's do what we got to do to keep this safe for all those who are coming, even though there are going to be some hoops we got to jump through. We're going to have, when you come back this weekend, we have our staff as ambassadors. They're going to be here to greet you. They'll have an orange tag on. We have them trained up. We're ready for you. I think we can have a nice experience here. We're going to have to build ambassador teams. So our staff, we're going to be the ambassadors for the first couple of weekends, and then we'll get all the kinks out. And then we're going to have to train up some ambassador teams for weekend masses. And then we've got to take those rules and regulations, apply them to a funeral, and we've got to train up ambassadors for funerals. Then we've got to take those rules and regulations, apply them to a wedding, train up some ambassador teams for weddings, take those rules and regulations, apply them to a baptism, train up a bunch of baptism ambassador teams. Then daily mass. We got to take all those rules and regulations, apply them to daily mass, train up ambassador teams for daily mass. So I ask your patience. I know many of you are very anxious to come back for daily mass, but we've got a ton of work to do before we can get to that. And we will get it as soon as we can, but we've got to train up people so that it can be done safely and according to the regulations that we're asked to keep. So many of you have asked about, mass cards. We can't do mass cards until we know when we're going to be able to do daily mass. And we've got a bunch of work to do with funerals and weddings and baptisms and weekend masses before we can get to the daily mass. So again, thanks for your patience on that as we will eventually get to those daily masses. Remember, during this COVID-19, there is no obligation to attend Sunday Mass or weekend Mass. Bishop Scharfenberger has lifted that obligation. So certainly, if you're vulnerable, stay home, Don't take a chance. We want you healthy. And as well, if you are not feeling well, if you have those flu-like symptoms, you got a temperature, please do not come. Stay home for your own good and to protect those in our community, So if you're not feeling well, please don't come into the church, okay? So again, going to need your patience and understanding as we unfold this. It's going to be very different. We were last together on the weekend of March 15th, so it's about 3 months. This will be very, very different than the experience you had 3 months ago. Tomorrow, I will have a little video of what to expect when you come back. I'm going to kind of take you through, walk you through some of the things that you'll see and how we're going to do this when you come here, just to give you a little feel for what it'll be like, and I think it'll make things go a little bit smoother. So you'll be hearing from me tomorrow as we do that, all right? So our Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, they're collecting those 5-cent returnable cans and bottles. I love what the Scouts do. They do a lot of really good stuff, and they want to take the profits they make from the cans and bottles and give it to the food pantries here in the area. And so back by the playground, you remember there's a dumpster out there where our garage is, where we keep our backhoe and the maintenance vehicles. There's a dumpster there. There are pink colored garbage cans. If you want to just bring in your bottles, or wrap them up tight in a little garbage bag and put them right next to those pink garbage cans, our Scouts will come over, they'll take them, and then they'll be able to take those proceeds and support some of our food pantries, which I think is a really wonderful thing for them to be doing. Fathers, we need Father's Day photos. So our mothers, we had a tremendous number of photos for Mother's Day, and so dads, we need you to step up to the plate, get us some photos. And so a photo of your dad and you, maybe you and your children, maybe your dad is deceased, and so we want pictures of dads, grandpas. Send them to us, because we want to be able to put together a similar little collage of photos to celebrate our fathers. The other thing is, remember we talked about having a Father's Day blessing outside of church, and of course we talked about that before we knew we could get together again. So we're still going to do it. We're going to do, for that weekend mass, we'll do the 5 o'clock and the 10 o'clock. I will do a Father's Day blessing here at church. But then we also want to do the blessing outside, where our staff gets a chance to bless fathers who might not be able to come to church because of your condition. And remember we talked about maybe taking if your dad is deceased or unable to be here, putting a picture in the passenger side of your vehicle, so we can bless them. But we'll only be doing it from noon to 1, because we've got to be able to get the cars out of here from the 10 o'clock mass and then get the parking lot set for people to come in through. So 12 to 1 on Father's Day. We ask any of our dads, please come by for a little Father's Day blessing. We'd love to do that. Our staff's pretty excited about that. You will, so we got a lot of these, so things are changing quickly, and they'll continue to change. So again, this is an ideal time. If we don't have your updated information, now's the time to do it. Go to our website, right on the front page. Go to the left-hand side, it says links. Get us your information, because it's an exciting time. We're coming back, but things are going to change quickly, and the main way I have to communicate to you is through being able to connect with you through your email address. So please keep that up to date. Again, if you need help with any errands, or you need technology help so that you can connect here, friendly phone calls, prayer partners, whatever, give us a call. We got people who would love to help you. We asked some parishioners, this weekend is the Feast of Corpus Christi, and we've missed having you here for the Eucharist over the last 3 months, and here it is, the Feast of the Body and Blood of Christ. So it's beautiful we can come back together on that particular weekend. And we asked some of our parishioners, 2 parishioners, what does it mean to you to receive the Holy Eucharist? And so John Musa reflects and says this: communion opens a door to spiritual intimacy. Returning to my pew and kneeling after receiving the Eucharist, I close my eyes and try to picture Jesus, to reach out and feel him nearby. These moments give me a sense of warmth and belonging, something similar to the comforting feeling you have when you return home after a long time away. And Anna Colello, she reflects as follows: when I'm receiving the Eucharist, I imagine Jesus' loving arms around me as I receive him. I feel this deeply as I recite the spiritual communion prayer. However, when I am able to receive the Eucharist at Mass, I believe the presence of Jesus will be stronger, and will fill me up completely. It will be a glorious day. And that glorious day is going to be this weekend when we're able to get back together, which is so wonderful. So remember noon prayer. We're trying to pause, say a prayer for our parish family, for strength, for anybody who might need a prayer at that time. And then remember this past Sunday I asked, could you add a second prayer that, all of humanity, if we can start to more and more take on the heart of Christ, all people take on the heart of Christ, it's really the only solution to these social ills, the number of social ills that we have in our country and our world. So just a quick prayer for that more and more we take on the heart of Christ. So you'll be hearing from me again tomorrow. We'll do probably a little 20-minute video or so. We're going to I'm going to walk you through some of the things you'll see when you come here this weekend, how we're going to do things. And I think it'll make it a little bit easier to know what to expect when you come. So it's a very exciting time. We've waited for a long time, and I can't wait to see you. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.